Live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is a noon edition of Jim, Matt, and Molly because we have a pregame show. Yeah, starts at 2 o'clock, I'm guessing, here on ESPN Wisconsin. Is that why we're on at noon, Matt Hamilton?
Yeah, we're the prequel to the sequel,
right?
If you will. For
I know.
pregame shows.
It's not like we could talk about the Packers or anything. So,
yeah,
we got.
Well,
you gotta get it to
we
Mr.
got some
Irrelevant.
Badger talk for you.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
Crush, a Coors Light. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me?
We heard you.
Did that work?
No.
Well, I mean, did you not want to be on time with Matt Hamilton? Because if that was the
I kind of
plan.
I did stumble a little. I kind of forgot to say the first part and just kind of started.
Well,
Not
here's
great.
the thing.
Not my best. I'll be better.
Full disclosure, Molly Brown is in Beaver Dam today.
Yeah.
We are on in Beaver Dam today, so shout out to Beaver Dam. And like I mentioned yesterday, let's give a little, again, another honor to Uncle Bill. He passed away, and they're going to be honoring him, I think, next week. But we'll give him another shout out on the show today because he is a Beaver Dam institution, a Good Karma Brands institution, and he will be missed. And since we're on a Beaver Dam, I felt that was appropriate. Matt Hamilton, Molly Brown up at Beaver Dam. I am Jim Rutledge, and I'll tell you what, I am not excited to talk Packers pregame. No, let me ask you guys this. I just think pregame shows, even I'll put it like for the Bears or whatever, and even like national, like the days of me firing up a radio pregame show or a NFL pregame show, and partially because I have a life, that like I can't just at like 10 a.m. just sit down, watch 2 hours of pregame, then have a noon kickoff, and then watch the whole kickoff. And so I've definitely I watch a lot of I watch a lot of the stuff on ESPN postgame wise, but with the pregame, the last thing I want to do, it's almost torture. One, they're not giving you anything useful. It's all just like fan service, which some people like that. That's
Sometimes.
That's always. But like, and then the other part of it is like, there's nothing in there that's not just like state-run propaganda. Whether it's the network or a non-network one, it's all going to be. Everything is going to be great. We're all going to take big sips of our green and gold Kool-Aid or blue and orange Kool-Aid or cardinal and white Kool-Aid.
Right.
It doesn't matter. But the other part of it is, I want to stay busy. So that's why these Friday games is another thing we can talk about. And I guess I feel like it's easier to stay busy when you're not working than when you're at work, depending on your job. Like, I want to be busy until kickoff, so I'm not twiddling my thumbs. I'm not building up anticipation. I'm not getting in my nerves. I'm not getting anxious. I just would rather be like, let's say the Bears play at noon on Sunday.
Okay.
I'm going to like mow the lawn and get as much stuff as I could, spend as much time with the family as I can, and get that all like done. But for two reasons. One, I need to get it done. And also, like, I'm not just like building up with anxiety and anticipation throughout. And then again, if I tune on the TV,
So you're not going to, like, while you're mowing the
up.
lawn, you're not going to listen to
No,
anything?
I'll listen to music or something, or I'll listen to a different podcast. I don't need to be fluffed up.
But then
I'm already up.
But like for me, you also do all those things, especially a Sunday noon kickoff, all that. You do all of those things before, so then you don't feel as crummy about yourself sitting on your couch for 6 hours the rest of the day. You
that's
know
a
what I
good
mean?
point.
Like you do
Absolutely.
it to not feel crappy.
Now, I will say, like, there's absolutely pregame shows where, yeah, it's all, we're going to be great, and I get it, right? Like, I get you're all drinking the Kool-Aid, we're all in the same team, like, we can really pump up our team in a pregame show.
Let's go!
But there's I like listening to pregame shows for, like, injury reports, because some people, obviously not necessarily
have
as
social
much
media?
in week one, but No, but it's nice to hear
He
closer to game
doesn't have
time.
the ESPN app.
No, but closer to game time, it's nice to hear there's game time decisions. Oftentimes, pregame shows will have that info for you. Not bad to listen to. Sometimes they can break down things that you're not going to catch on your normal weekly show to lead into a game. There's some benefit to it. I'm not with you where I can say that it's a total waste of time. Like, sure, I like to be doing something if I'm going to listen to a pregame show, like driving in a car to a location. I'm not going to change the pregame show
about the
like
TV ones?
after this.
If you're at home, do you fire up? I don't know if I can tell you. Who's
Sunday
actually-
NFL Countdown?
Yeah.
Especially for that Sunday NFL Countdown, I feel like I'm definitely getting any sort of info, and this is mostly for fantasy football purposes. I'm making sure all the players that I'm starting are actually going to play.
So
like there is
again,
some news that comes across that's like I find that useful.
You're driving actually to the point. My whole issue with weather, of like the weather broadcast is essentially pointless because like it's all coming to my phone. Just give me an alert. Just tell me. I got 7,000 messages yesterday during the game about what fantasy football player was where before the game. Hey, this player is starting and you should start this guy. I got a million messages. I already got. Ryan already gave me the game time decision, or those aren't quite in yet, but they're still done like an hour before the game. They're not like literally.
It's exactly 90 minutes before the game.
So 90 minutes. So I'm even like tighter on that than I should have been. Like it's all available. It all comes to your phone. You're going to get blown up throughout the entire day. So again, outside of fan service, which some people enjoy, that's obviously not my, and like it's not even a Packers thing. Like I won't fan service even when I used to do Badger pregame, I didn't run a fan service pregame show. I wanted to talk about the game and what's going to happen, but like I didn't want to just fluff the whole time. Obviously, like for example, the Badgers are playing South Dakota. Mm-hmm. I'm not mentioning South Dakota's existence if I was doing a pregame tomorrow. Like I don't even need to acknowledge they are a team on this earth because they're irrelevant. Because it's all about the Badgers, where the state of the program is, the Jim Leonard question we talked about, is Ches Malusi, like, is this the game they blow up? Is this the game they get the point? It's all about, like, that game's actually interesting because that one's more of big picture because South Dakota is irrelevant. And this game tonight, like, all we're doing is trying to sound more knowledgeable about the same spin we've been doing for the last, like, I'm getting meta right now. Like, we all been kind of just talking around this for a while. But, like, we turn on Philadelphia with the same vigor and the same excitement. They're going to tell you why, well, they finished the season poorly last year, which then caused them to have a really impactful offseason. They added some players like Saquon Barkley, and they added 2 new coaches in Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio. And the whole team is now recommitted to winning, and they were in Super Bowl 2 years ago. They were in the playoffs last year, and they are locked in all offseason, and they are ready to go. They are ready to play in Brazil. They need this win. They're going to come out with their warm urine and ready to go. Meanwhile, in Green Bay, we're going to be like, the Packers are the second best team in the NFC, maybe the best team in the NFC. They have all the momentum that Jordan Love had. Like, you could just sell yourself whatever the hell you want, especially the first game of the season, because none of it, not an ounce of it, has any sort of fact or base in reality. It's all how you want to spin it.
Ryan, watch this. Ready?
Ryan, who's on the pregame show?
That
On
would
Green Bay
be
game day.
Mr. Irrelevant.
No idea. Irrelevant.
Alex Strofe himself,
Okay.
along with a cast of characters. I believe Gabe Neitzel will be joining him at one point. I believe it'll be. I would actually have to go look at the full content lineup, but it's going to be quite the crew. A lot of our teammates, GKB teammates, who we love to hear and we think are great at their jobs and are going to do a great
Love them
pregame show.
so much. Gabe Neitzel, Bulaga's on
think-
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that Gabe Neitzel and Bulaga are going to be saying that the Green Bay Packers are the best
I'm not
team in
talking
the
about
NFC.
I didn't want to make it about us.
Alex Strofe, maybe.
I don't want to make it about us. I just wanted to make it in general. Like, again, Good Karma Brands is the pregame home for the Chicago Bears. I'm not flipping that on either. It's not a Good Karma. It's not a Bears or Badgers or anything. I've never listened to it.
See, that seems like
because I
a
also
you
just want.
thing.
I want to be doing something. The bigger part of it is my game day. I do not want to be sitting around just anxiously awaiting and someone getting me all hyped up for something I'm already hyped up for. Like, I'll just roll into the game. But I'm also a fan that's consuming it
disagree.
throughout the entire week. Nothing being told to me. Sorry, nothing being told to me is new today.
I get it. Like,
repackaged.
we're all consuming all sports radio all the time, right? But I like it. Like, I was listening to Wilde and Tausch this morning, and I heard the montage. It gave me goosebumps. I'm like, oh my God, this gets me excited for football season. Like, I want the game to be here already. Then it's like I heard Wilde and Tausch talking about their sleepers of the week and their headlines and just going through all the things that feel like football season, and I loved it. So to me, I'm like, give me all the Green Bay Packers content all day, every day. Give me the pregame shows on Sundays. I love watching those. I love learning about the other teams. Like, I love it. Matt,
it's all
where do you
paint by
stand with
numbers.
this?
Like everything you listed, to your point, I guess, again, that goes back to that gets you in your feels because it feels familiar and it triggers.
It feels like football. Yeah, it's like
over and
it's
over again.
fall.
For me, it's
football
like,
season.
oh, great,
Yeah.
we're doing the exact same thing, exactly the same every single year. Let's paint by numbers. And again, that's not a specific thing to ESPN Wisconsin. You could go to you could tune on, again, in Philadelphia, they're doing the same damn show we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And in Chicago, they're doing the same show on Sunday. Everywhere is doing the same show for every pregame everywhere. And that's why I don't consume the pregames.
Right. Well, I mean, you obviously you're deeper in media. You understand that.
But I did this long before media.
Yeah.
I never did it.
Okay, but you understand that, like, this is the job of people that are on the air right now.
I'm
Like,
not saying you shouldn't be doing it. I'm just saying I'm not going to be consumed. I know it doesn't get me excited.
And I can see that this is not your bag, but Molly, I'm with you. There's times where I'm going to learn something about the opponent, especially before I was doing radio, where I probably should try and have some idea of what the opponent has going on. When I was just tuning in on
What
Sunday.
Are you coaching?
No, but it's nice to know some of the other players and who the good guys are on that team and like what potential skill sets might work against the Packers, right? Like that kind of stuff is intriguing, especially when you can get guys like Mark Tauscher and former football players that actually can give you a little bit of an inside edge at like why this guy is really good, why this defensive end is someone to really worry about. Mark Tauscher, of all the people in the world that are going to talk about defensive ends, he's seen him. I'm listening to Mark.
And again, it goes back to, it's not even me as a media guy. You consume sports different than I think a lot of our fans do. We're all listening throughout the week. And Mark Tauscher's fantastic. Mm-hmm. I highly doubt that Mark has anything, or Bulaga or Knights or even Strofe, Mr. Irrelevant, will have anything that they say today that they had in their back pocket for today. And you've consumed it all week, you've heard it all week, so now it's just hearing it again before the game.
Yeah,
and I don't need to be
guys,
hyped. So it's not new, and I don't need to be hyped. I don't need to be fluffed up.
So am I a dork? Because
I don't want to know
On my way home last night, I flipped on our sister station, 1430 WBEV. I flipped them on, and they had the Chiefs pregame show going on. It was the Westwood One show with Rich Eisen and Kurt Warner, and then I went to Kevin Harlan.
Yep.
And I was enjoying it because I'm like, I know it's dorky. It's on their AM station, so it's like it feels like terrestrial radio. Like it feels.
It is. We
like
are on
real
terrestrial radio as well.
Sports. I know, but like even more, I just feel like AM is even more so. But but it was like fun to listen to because I'm like, you know what, Ravens, I haven't followed them very much. I haven't like kept up with the news stories with their team. Same with the Chiefs. It's like, all right, like I get it. You have Mahomes, you have Kelsey, you have all the things. But it was really fun to listen to, and I picked up a couple things, you know? And then it got me excited to go home and watch the game that started 20 minutes later than it was supposed to because of rain.
See, again, even
which I wouldn't have known.
With the game on, I barely had the sound on. I don't really need them talking either. So, again, I might just be consuming differently. That, like, for the most part,
I think you might be the serial killer on the show, not Ryan, because that's weird.
No,
I've been trying to say it for a while.
I don't want other people. Like, I just want to. I want to have it on. I don't
Should
want
we
to.
pull it?
I don't want to
see
overwhelm
how many
them.
people think like Jim and like could care less about a pregame show or like even listening to the game with volume.
Or it makes you a bigger serial killer, eating chicken wings with a fork or listening to pregame shows.
You don't want to.
It's the chicken
You
wings
don't-
with a fork,
you-
friend. I'm sorry.
But again,
Still the
I want
fork
to have
on
this right.
chicken wing.
I have the volume low. I don't want it overwhelming me. I want to hear what's going on, but like, I'm watching. I want to have my own thoughts of it. I don't need to. Again, it's how I consume things. But forever, like when I'm watching a game, I want to know what I think about it, what my brain saw, what I saw going on, not necessarily someone else's opinion on it, because we all know that I value my opinion more than anyone else's. So when I'm watching this game, I want my opinion into it. Like, obviously, I had it on so I could hear little bits and pieces, but and I watched the entire game last night. It was a hell of a football game last night.
But
I really enjoyed myself. And I'll tell you what, I on the flip side, to be positive, I love nothing more. Like, I will stop what I'm doing. I will build my day around, if I can, mowing the lawn, things like that, for a postgame. I love a postgame show more than anything. A postgame show is my bag. Postgame show is everything I love about sports. It's instant reaction to what happened in the game. You are in your emotions, you're in your feels, you're not getting bogged down in too much like analytics afterwards. Like, you're in it and you're reacting raw, and then you have Tauscher and you have Neitzel and you have whoever else is doing it. Like, that I'm hyped for. Like, win or lose, the post-game show is juicy. Like, post-game shows are amazing. I absolutely love post-game shows. Maybe that's the question we should ask, is do you prefer a good pregame show or a good postgame show? Because for me, I won't consider a pregame show, but I will go out of my way to make sure I'm listening to a postgame show.
Well, right. It's
Daniel Landscaper says, I was hyped for the game and listening to radio talk all day, and Jim is doing a great job to kill that vibe. Great job, Karen.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I hear what you're saying for the post-game show, but I'm kind of the opposite. Is like,
what?
Kind of like what you said. I have my opinions on the game. I just watched it.
But you want to commiserate?
No, because I don't want anyone. I want to digest it for a little bit. I would much rather watch a post-game show, like, or just listen to the radio the next day.
Oh, no. See, I
need to digest after the game, get my feels in order, try and understand what I just watched, whether good or bad, before I want someone telling me, like, this is what I saw, because then I feel like that's going to change my perception.
Well, that's because you're listening to broadcasters. Like, I'm quick. I know what I saw. I'm ready. I got my takes. But I don't need to digest anything. I want to
Well, that's
spit
because
fire.
you don't have an open mind to maybe be considered to be wrong. You have your opinion, and you're going to fire it out there, and if someone doesn't agree with
I'm
it,
not malleable.
it's wrong.
I can't just be spun in the direction that the team-run propaganda wants to spin me. I know what I know.
So wait, so
That
Jim,
is that's
how
obtuse.
long?
That is the definition of obtuse.
It is not.
Jim, how long after the game do you enjoy listening? Like, how many days
Before
after
you look up the
game
definition
do
of
you enjoy
obtuse,
to
here's the point,
continue?
Matt, is that I consume things and I will give myself a wide variety of things before the game. I can have my own opinion about what I saw with my eyes after the game. That's not being obtuse.
I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying when you go into something like that, for me, I want to digest what I saw. I don't want to hear somebody tell me what I saw.
But
right? That's the whole thing of a
But my point is, no,
post-game.
they're not telling me what I saw. Either I agree with them or disagree with them. I know what I saw, and either I agree or disagree with them.
And like,
And then
I can
maybe
just see fluff, real.
Maybe a day or two later, as I look deeper into it, but I want the instant reaction. Instantly, I know what I saw. I know what I feel. I know my feelings. And then, to your point, throughout the week, then maybe I do have to look back and say, you know what? I was in my feelings. That Lamar Jackson played better than his highlights looked like, because Lamar Jackson looked like an MVP last night and made a few bad plays just like Patrick Mahomes. But if you get caught up in the moment right afterwards, or I think you're an absolute mouth breather moron if you think the Chiefs somehow were given that game. The guy's foot was clearly out of bounds. And I thought that after the game last night, and I think that more so today. That he was out of bounds, but there are mouth breathers out there already saying, oh, the Chiefs just getting handed wins.
Chiefs win.
I mean, I don't think that. I saw his toe was on the line 100%.
Yeah. 844-770-3776. Yeah, pregame. So, in honor of this sweet, extra long pregame we're doing here, which side of the ball will we be talking about tomorrow? 844-770-3776. The Packers play the Eagles, and a whole other thing is bothering the hell out of me. This stupid peacock thing is just, how about you just give a bigger middle finger to the best football fans in America, self-proclaimed, in the Green Bay Packers, of like, hey, go find yourself an app and download this app that nobody ever uses for anything else except for when we have to randomly download it to watch a sporting event that they've held hostage, which they are doing tonight, the Packers versus Eagles. I've
been watching Olympics on Peacock, so I got it. I'm ready to rumble.
Yeah, I forgot the Olympics were on NBC. They're on broadcast TV. You didn't have to but you could watch the Olympics.
You can watch all of the games.
Okay. But
all of the weird sports on the Paralympics and the Olympics.
Anyways, for most people that are being held hostage, having to download the Peacock app, it's obnoxious. Do I have to pay for it? I went to go download it, and I had to pick a plan that showed me that I have to pay for it. Like, can you not watch this? You can't watch this game for free?
If you're in the Madison market, no. If you're in the Milwaukee or Green Bay markets, yes.
All right, you're gonna have to give me. I'm not getting ripped off this time. You're gonna have to give me, Matt, one of your weird, like, illegal ways to stream this thing, like on Reddit or something like that, because I will not get ripped off to watch this game. To have to pay money to put down a useless, worthless app like Peacock to watch this game is absolutely infuriating. But anyways, the Packers play the Eagles. Which side of the ball will we be talking about tomorrow? 844-770-3776. I am obviously need to get to Carbon and World Health maybe after today, because I am raring to go for football season. The Packers play tonight. That was a hell of a football game last night. The Bears play at noon on Sunday. The Badgers play on Saturday. It's a great football weekend, which means I'll be drinking a lot of Coors Light. I'll probably be having some wings and just enjoying myself, so that I need to go to Carbon World Health today to make sure that I get a workout in before all that, and then get back there on Monday. You can talk about semaglutide, hormone optimization. I told you guys my back was jacked up the other day. It is phenomenally better. It's not all the way back. It's not a magical fix, but it is phenomenally better. When I went to Carbon World Health, talked to Dr. Nestor Rodriguez, said, hey, my back is jacked. What should I do? He goes, do the cryo, do the red light, and then have the trainers give you a stretch. I did all those things, and I feel better today. I might do the same thing today. Carbon World Health can change your healthy lifestyle. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, featuring one extra special dive bar that will have $2 High Lifes on special for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin, like Connie's Home Plate, Antlers Pub, Brothers 3 Bar and Grill, and Old Duffer's Pub.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Every Tuesday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Don't miss the ESPN Wisconsin Media Poll Rankings Reveal Show. We unveil the top 10 teams in the large division and small division all around the state. That's every Tuesday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. The ESPN Wisconsin Media Poll Rankings Reveal Show.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. GRB is hosting its annual Top Prospect Camp on Saturday, October 12th for pitchers, catchers, and position players. This annual event has attracted the top talent from across the Midwest for 13 years. This is your chance to showcase your skills in front of the top colleges in the country, and the camp is open to all players in the 2025 through 2028 grad classes. Visit grbacademy.com to register now. Raise baseball. Raise your game.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Welcome to another episode of Analysis, man.
From Buck superstar Giannis.
You know, and then I'm going to like Chris at the time. What did coach mean? What do you...
And even Green Bay QB Jordan Love. There's only one call for these conversations.
I've never been in the Lambeau, and I have to.
right? What is this Lambo lead?
Tune in to the Thanalysis Show, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Find it today on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere you get podcasts.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Phish Friday on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Off-Broadway Draft House. Enjoy a traditional Friday fish fry at Madison's favorite neighborhood gathering spot, Off-Broadway Draft House.
It is a Phish Friday here on Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue. You know what to do.
And that's Crush, Coors Light.
You're just trying to figure out the delay there, Matt?
Well, I wanted to try and figure out the delay, but then I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to try it. I'm just going to let her go this time. Right? Like,
you know what?
We're not in the same location. It's going to be very hard to try and crush a Coors Light together.
Maybe we just alternate segments. I do one, you do one, I do one, you do... No?
Yeah, no, that's fine by me. That was yours. I'm next.
844-770-3776.
Step on my toes, Molly. This is my favorite part of the show.
The Packers.
You know what? I'm getting a little bit concerned, Matt, because I'm starting to look at the video stream, and I think we look very similar today, and I am not loving it.
Your facial hair could be cleaned up, Molly. I'll be honest.
I'm not wearing makeup today. We both have like the curls with the hat, the goldenish hair, the green shirt.
Is it hard for you that we're both beautiful people? Is that what's bothering you?
You two look like you could be related.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Or married, because somehow like old married couples
That's
start to
true.
just look like each other.
That
is true.
Molly just got carded at a bar the other day. I'm pretty sure that we're not old married couples yet. If we were married, we'd be a young, hip and jive married couple.
One person would be.
What are you talking about? I'm still young at heart, which makes me
How's
young.
that? Are you gonna trim that gray out of your beard, or because
Yeah.
you're definitely not young in your face?
You're right. I know. It's getting great. It's probably from doing this show.
I don't know what you're
Listening to
talking
you
about.
hate on pregame shows.
All
I
right.
hate when my favorite people in radio talk about my favorite team right before a game. I'd rather mow the lawn.
Let's spin it positively. I love a good postgame show. I love a postgame show.
I can appreciate that.
Can we ask that question? 844-770-3776. I am curious. What do you prefer, pregame or postgame shows?
I'm just kind of exhausted by the end of the game, so I'm going to say pregame.
All right, let's post that as a poll question, 844-770-3776. What do you prefer, pre or postgame shows? And this isn't even, like, I remember.
That said, post-game shows I'm going to steal my best ideas for the next week of radio.
Like, one of the things that I didn't like when I covered baseball.
Plagiarizer.
That's your crown, Molly Brown.
Yeah. Well, I'm learning from Molly.
I would say that, like, covering baseball is always brutal because a lot of times it'd be like you're expected to go in before the game. And I was like, what am I going to talk to you about before this game? Like, of course, you're going to go out there. Yeah, you're going to try hard. You're going to
So-and-so's going to hit a dinger.
Right? Like, what? Like, you just talk to the guys and, like, yeah, this guy's got a good fastball, good changeup. We're going to try to put the ball in play. I mean, like, you get nothing. It's just like it was just like a waste of everyone's time.
So they got to throw him off with a weird question.
And maybe
What'd you have for dinner last
Maybe
night?
some of my pregame dislike is that I used to, like, back in the day, you have to physically run the board and you have to run it. So you have to be there 2 hours early before, like, an NFL game on Westwood 1, to Molly's point, and then sit there and just wait for him to say, like, this is Westwood 1. You go, all right, commercial. Play the two. And then you're just sitting there dragging through this post-game show, hitting the same notes with different team names in it every single time. So, like, it is honestly like playing. It's basically someone's doing a cover of a song of, like, the most bland song on the face of the earth over and over and over again for the Westwood 1. I guess I'm not saying ours, but, like, that was Westwood 1. It was basically insert new team name with exact same segment. So you just really saw how the sausage was made.
Yeah.
It's like, this is just the
Right,
same show over and over again.
Ryan, isn't that what you're doing today? Are you running the board for the postgame or pregame?
I will not be running the board for the pregame. We're actually not carrying Green Bay game day here in Madison. They will be in Beaver Dam today, I believe.
Volleyball.
But yes, UW volleyball plays tonight against TCU.
That's exciting.
4 p.m.
I like that. That's good. That's something good to carry.
Yeah, that's a good reason for us to be moved.
Yes.
That does mean Jesse Nelson studio anchor, though.
Ugh. Yeah.
Ah,
You know what, though?
sweet.
It's still Badger volleyball.
Sometimes you got to take the good with the bad.
Do we think Jesse Nelson's a jinx for Badger volleyball? Should that be our other poll question? Because they have not had a
Jesse
good
Nelson
start.
get kicked off the volleyball broadcast.
Jesse the jinx.
Is he a jinx?
I mean,
because they won their exhibition game. They haven't won since Jesse Nelson's joined the broadcast.
Jesse Nelson's alma mater, too.
Yeah, I think Jesse Nelson's a jinx. That could be another poll question we have. You know what? Chime in on that one, 844-770-3776. Is Jesse Nelson a jinx for Badger volleyball? 844-770-3776.
Is that 3 games now that they've lost? 3? That is a pattern.
Yeah.
It's not like they played against the best teams in the country or anything.
I actually think it's squarely on Jesse's shoulders.
Molly, if you want to be the best team in the country, you got to beat the best team in the country.
Badgers
and
are
if
like the best
Jesse
team in the
is
country.
going to
I
be,
understand.
yeah. So if Jesse's going to show up, and you're not going to pull any of those games out, like one of the big X factors is Jesse was there.
So we'll ask that you can chime in on that one, 844-770-3776. Is Jesse Nelson a Badger volleyball jinx? That's one of our questions. Do you prefer pregame or postgame shows for your favorite teams? I definitely prefer a great – honestly, it could be a bad postgame show, and I'm still in on it. 844-770-3776. And then also, which side of the ball will we be talking about tomorrow? Matt, what's your answer to that one?
You know, honestly, I think we're going to talk about the defense. I think the offense showed what they can do, and I think that they're for the offense to wow us enough where we're going to talk mostly offense, I think is a higher bar than the defense just has to be pretty good to be impressive to us. You know what I mean? I don't think they're actually going to be judged on a level playing field. I think the defense is going to be something that is going to impress you a lot easier. Maybe they still give up 24 points, but they had a pick and a forced fumble. Like, this new defense is all about taking the ball away. This is what we're doing. Like, I do think that their bar is going to be lower, and the defense is what's going to be hype. And if they go out and play good football, we're going to talk about the defense. I think the offense is going to have to play great football to be like the highlight of the game.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback on that. Jalen Hurts has thrown an interception in each of his last 4 games to end the 2023 season. So if the Packers get that pick, which he's prone to do, you're going to be excited about it. But if they don't, what happens if the Packers give up 27? It doesn't mean anything long term.
Right.
But let's say I don't even care turnovers. Let's say they give up 27 and they lose 27 to 20, 21, 24. 24 is a fair number. You'd be like, all right, and you'd still lose 27-24 even with turnovers or whatever. You can be like, oh man, someone went for a pick and missed, and then they got a touchdown. Like, so to your point, I'm not saying that will be the case, good or bad. The defense is what we're talking about tomorrow, I think. 844-770-3776.
Molly?
I think the only way that we're talking about the defense tomorrow is if Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts run all over this defense. I don't think that if the Packers, let's say, get an interception on Jalen Hurts, that's going to be the big story that we're talking about. I think we're talking about the offense tomorrow. I think you're talking about you just signed Jordan Love $55 million a year. Does he look like a guy that should be getting paid $55 million a year? I think that's still going to be the biggest question and thing that we're talking about tomorrow.
You know, I mean, you're not wrong. Offense is what is sparkly and shiny, and it's exciting. All these rules that are put in place are for the offense to basically be better than the defense. But I just feel like the Packers, they showed what they are capable of at the end of last season. This defense is, in this situation, the new toy. This is the new shiny toy that we have in Green Bay, and we want to see how it runs. So good or bad, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of like defenses we are seeing. Does it look like we're getting pressure on them? Did they look like they didn't get any pressure on them? Were players covered, or did you see wide receivers running wide open? There's going to be, it could be good or bad, but this defense really is it was the big change in the offseason, and that's kind of why I think it's going to maybe overshadow the offense, unless the offense does something wild, like a beatdown like they did on the Cowboys.
Yes, that obviously, and I that's in play. I mean, everything's in play.
Right.
I mean, the Packers coming out looking flat because Matt LaFleur's in his feels again about going to Brazil. Like, that could be a thing.
Yep.
The team coming out looking exactly like the team that beat the hell out of Dallas, definitely in play. There's a million different options that are in play. A shootout could be in play. A grind-out game. The offense looks out of sync.
That feels like a likely one, like a low-scoring slobber knocker.
I think the first half will look like that, basing it a little bit.
The only reason I said it is the other day when I said it in front of you kind of like winced. I was like, I'm going to get her with it again.
The over-under is, well, actually, I don't want to get into Molly's game. I don't want to mess with that one. But 844-770-3776. The over-under is 49.5. Like, is it that much of a slobber knockle?
Slobber knuckle.
Giannis, that's a campo.
Slobbery knuckles? What? Like, what are we What are we doing? I don't even know what the word is.
It's again, I think it's my age showing. It's an old timey saying for like a slugfest, kind of.
Matt, you're 35.
Yeah, but
I had parents that said old timey stuff. Like the cat's meow.
A slobber knocker is a term used to describe a hard-fought or physically aggressive contest. It can also refer to a violent or severe blow or collision between players. For example, Gaines and Bates are very slobber knockers. What? Gaines and Bates are very slobber knockers, is what AI is saying. That's an example. But apparently,
but
it's also a fishing lure, according to AI.
I believe that.
What? No way.
No, it says right here, Berkeley Fishing slobber knocker.
Well, because big fish are called slobs, Molly. So it makes sense.
Oh.
Whenever you go fishing, you're trying to catch the slobs. You leave the dinks in the pond
Slob
and catch
or
all the
slab?
slobs. Either slab.
So
I've heard
here,
slabs
built
and
to
I heard slobs.
outperform any other bladed jig, the Berkeley Slobber Knocker combines innovative design and proven Berkeley features in one fish catching package. Like I'll just as I read that,
is it made by Saquon Berkeley?
But I was just gonna say, fishing is just like golf. Like they just throw out words to get you to buy things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite lure is called a Whopper Plopper. So
those are fun.
They are fun. It's the best lure on the market.
I gotta send you this song, Matt. That's all about Whopper Ploppers. It's fun.
I'm in. Maybe Ryan will play it coming back from break.
Like I found something I like less than pregame shows. Fishing talk.
Fishing talk.
I thought the point of fishing was
shows.
to have us challenge yourself to catch fish, and then you got to buy all these
maybe talk about a football game before it's about to happen.
Newfangled things to just catch the fish for you with slobber knocker and wind talker or whatever the hell.
Whopper Plopper.
Whopper Plopper. You guys even fish? You just kind of let the lures do it for you.
I mean, that's the thing. All I have to do is retrieve it.
Sounds great.
Fish come to me.
I'm sure you can find compliments. You can do surf or turf or find compliments with the produce over at Metcalf's Market for your fish.
Absolutely. So if you're not fishing with a Whopper Plopper or a slobber knocker, you might not catch any fish. But the good news is Metcalf's Market has fish, and it's the best around. They've got an extensive selection of premium quality foods like meat and seafood, high-quality produce, specialty cheeses, and a great selection of beer, wine, and liquor. They're a fourth-generation, family-operated neighborhood market. That is the best place to shop for my family because I can trust all the products that they're selling. That's Metcalf's Market. They are in 3 locations, 2 here in Madison, 1 near Westtown Mall, 1 in the Hilldale shopping area, and 1 in Wauwatosa. So I don't know what you're waiting for. Up your food game. Get the freshest. Get the best here in Madison. Metcalf's Market. Bring local home.
For the love of God, just say Tosa. You sound like a baby. Tosa. Tosa. That's how Wisconsinites say it. Tosa.
I'm from Wisconsin. It would sound stupid if it was.
What?
It's the fun part of the word.
But people you're a Wisconsinite. I know you're not really in that part of the state, but it's Tosa.
No,
it is always
I'm
referred
aware.
to as Tosa.
I call it the Tosa Curling Club, but
yeah, so it's Tosa.
But the Tosa Curling Club's in Wauwatosa.
Yeah, but you call it Tosa, man.
I don't know.
You're
like
Mr. Wisconsin.
I like
it's
saying
Tosa.
Wawa.
But you're wrong. It's Tosa. You're a Wisconsinite. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Play by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Pizza Hut just changed the combo game with the new My Hut Box. Get your choice of a 2-topping personal pan pizza, a half melt or a full melt, and your choice of either boneless wings or fries. It's the ultimate solo meal starting at only $6.99. Craving pizza and wings? You got it. Want melts and fries? You got it. Because this meal is all about you. Perfect for a speedy lunch, a relaxing dinner for one, or anytime you're on the go. Head to pizzahut.com to order your My Hut Box today. That's pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Forward Madison FC's professional soccer season is underway, and they want you to pack out Breeze Stevens Field. Need a night out with the whole family? Try the Forward Madison Family Special presented by MG&E. Score a ticket to the match, a meal, and an FMFC scarf, all for just $25 per person. Visit ForwardMadisonFC.com to purchase your tickets today. That's ForwardMadisonFC.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
The Jones family has its rules, just like any other family. Only difference is, ours are about making the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage you can buy. One of our rules, we only use all natural ingredients. It's a mandate we've followed since the 1840s, and we'll continue to do so for generations to come, right here in Fort Atkinson. I'm Philip Jones. To learn more about the rules that make sure my family provides your family with the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage, visit jonesdairyfarm.com.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, featuring one extra special dive bar that will have $2 High Lifes on special for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin, like Connie's Home Plate, Antlers Pub, Brothers 3 Bar and Grill, and Old Duffer's Pub.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
I'm floating in the blimp.
How's Darren Rovell doing with a Wisconsin versus Northern Illinois game ticket? And he's flexing it on social media, on Twitter. 15 years ago, walk-on J.J. Watt made his University of Wisconsin game debut. Badgers hold on 28-20 over Northern Illinois. At some point, I think I had a game program for that. I threw it away because this is pointless. And it's just weird that like Darren Ravel he's such a tryhard. Like JJ's not on the ticket. It's Philip Welch, the kicker. Like I don't understand.
Right, but it's like fun memorabilia, and it means something to him.
It doesn't mean anything to him. He's just trying to flex. He just collects dumb things.
He does. I mean, I don't know if I want to say it's dumb. It's I'm not going to yuck someone's yum.
I'm going to yuck it. Darren Ravel sucks.
Judgmental Jim.
Why do you say that?
Everything about him. He's
You
such
are coming
a
in
phony.
hot today.
He's such a phony clown. Let's go out to Jeff in Madison. He's got a take on which side of the ball we'll be talking about tomorrow. 844-770-3776. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah. Hey, I get the offense being I liked that bright, shiny object to focus on, and certainly having guys like Christian Watson and a full accompaniment of young receivers stepping up. It's interesting. It is. But the defense hired a new coordinator. We've been complaining about mid-teens performance, 9th, 17th, and 17th against in yards, 13th, 17th, and 10th in Joe Barry's 3-year tenure. You don't win Super Bowls with that. You don't maybe have to be top 5, but you got to be better. So we went out, made those changes, picked up Xavier McKinney, drafted heavy defense again. Come on. If we're not focused on that, then we're not football fans. Like, we need to see, maybe not game 1, but we need to see improvement there, and we are playing one hell of an offense. So this is the game where we're going to be tested heavily. That's the focus.
Thank you for the call, 844-770-3776. Which side of the ball will we be talking about tomorrow? Ryan says we have to go to break. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Riley Yauk. It's a big weekend coming up for Wisconsin athletics, as tonight the volleyball team does battle with the Horned Frogs of TCU. First serve scheduled for 4 p.m. with pregame coverage beginning at 3:30 right here on 100.5 ESPN. Then another full slate tomorrow as the football team clashes with the South Dakota Coyotes. Kickoff slated for 2:30 with ESPN Wisconsin College Gameday beginning at 12:30. And finally, volleyball wraps up the evening against Baylor at 7.
Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Offer on September 30th, so visit PellaWI.com today.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semra with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Aaron Schauer, Madison Edgewood High School. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you had the fortune last year of going to state in 3 sports, but the first one, cross country, that was your first year, right? You had done volleyball for a couple years?
Yeah, I decided to do cross country, especially with my track season in my sophomore year. I ended up switching a little bit to distance towards the end of the year, and I knew cross country would probably get me in shape for basketball, so kind of went into it with that mindset and actually ended up really enjoying it.
What was it like to be part of a state championship basketball team?
Yeah, it was like a perfect experience. Going to any state championship, you're going into it with a mindset of just enjoying your time there and being proud of all you've done. But that team, I mean, we had our eyes set on a bigger goal, and it was super awesome to have such a young team, but also have some great senior leaders and to rely on them as well.
$1 million. That's big, really big. This September, Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is handing out a cool million, and you've got a shot at winning your share. The big $1 million giveaway is here. Just play with your rewards card and you're entered to win. Couldn't be easier and couldn't be bigger. No wonder it's called the Big One. For more details, visit paysbig.com/big one. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. a trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Matt Hamilton here to tell you about my friends at Revive Restoration. Nobody plans for accidents to happen, but when they do, you can count on Revive to be professional, efficient, and detail-oriented as they make things right again. Revive Restoration.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Yeah. Whop it like I plop it. 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 Whop it like I plop it.
Mike in Lake, Wisconsin. Defense for sure regarding on how the offense plays. It will either be why they look great or not so great. But it's the first game of the season, so it'll definitely be the defense and hopefully on the positive side. 844-770-3776. Which side of the ball are we going to be talking about tomorrow? Maybe during our pregame show, because God knows there's nothing to preview about South Dakota. It's really about the Badgers and seeing what they're going to do. This is not necessarily a pregame show, but at 4 o'clock, Badger Volleyball here is on ESPN Madison. Jesse Nelson, the Jinx, will try to break that jinx along with Badger Volleyball. So that'll be coming up at 4 o'clock. Coverage starts at 4 o'clock here for Badger Volleyball. We are your home for Badger Volleyball on ESPN Madison. 844-770-3776 is how you get into the show. Like, there's Xavier McKinney, Javon Bullard, Evan Williams are all going to be in the mix there as new defensive players. Lucas Van Ness has a more... he's going to have more of a role this year. Right. The defense looks a little different as far as schematically at times it'll look a little different. Am I missing anyone else as far as a new defensive starter, or is that kind of the gist of it? Rashawn Gary, unquestionably all the way back. Obviously, he was, I would say, by the end of the year all the way back as far as physically, but now he's had a whole offseason to be able to get himself back into football shape, so that's something to watch for as well.
I would say Adrian Cooper might be a pseudo-starter. I mean, he's probably going to be like that third linebacker to start the year behind Eric Wilson and Quay Walker, but he will probably become a starter pretty quick. And this game will be a big – I mean, he is no longer questionable to play, so he should be fully healthy, knock on wood. But this will probably be a big game for him.
It is interesting in the idea that you have Evan Williams kind of early on outshining Javon Bullard, just in the idea that he is right there in the lower draft pick. And then
is he outshining him?
According to Will, we're outshining if you're a lower pick and you're playing.
Well, most of the conversation was that they just play different positions as safeties. Though one's a nickel corner, one's a nickel safety who's kind of playing down in the box.
The idea was that Javon Bullard will play because if Evan Williams takes his spot, Javon Bullard can move down. It's more of a compliment to Evan Williams that Evan Williams has played so well.
It was also that Javon Bullard wasn't drafted to play that position specifically.
So Evan Williams has played so well that it's really a positive for him that he's slid up, that he could be the starting safety, and Javon Bullard can kind of be a guy that moves around out there. Because Cooper's another guy that necessarily you didn't want Wilson starting. So, I mean, I think they'll get there, but and this is obviously way too early to talk about those players, but it is interesting that some of the guys drafted to step in could be different names and they'll have different roles. And we don't know what this defense is going to look like. Outside of this, in Xavier McKinney, I would be shocked if he is not hands down the best acquisition for the Packers this year. I don't think Jacobs is going to come close. I think Xavier McKinney is going to be an unquestioned Pro Bowl player. You can make a case that the Packers signed Jacobs on his decline. We don't know that. There is no case to be made at all against the Packers signing Xavier McKinney, even for what they paid him. That is a home run. You got a guy who's young, on the upswing, on a good deal that can change and unlock your defense. Xavier McKinney is an unquestioned, things can happen, but it's unquestioned, should be a home run signing. It's also a position where you should be able to plug and play it wherever. So Xavier McKinney, I'm expecting to be one of the better safeties in all of football, and he's on the Packers this year. And I think it's one of the better signings in all of the NFL.
Right. I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong about that because Xavier McKinney was a huge pickup. I do think Josh Jacobs is going to be more impactful than you seem to want to give him credit for, but he's not going to outshine Xavier McKinney, and it's nothing. This defense is going to be, like I said before, it's going to be talked about, good or bad. If they go out there and they look awesome, we're going to have a week of pre-show defense talk. We're going to talk about this Packers defense and how they're able to shut down a talented and star-studded Eagles offense if they do well. And if they do bad, we're going to start commiserating about Joe Barry. Like, is this Joe Barry 2.0? Is this Joe Barry with the 4-3 instead of the 3-4?
Oh, I think
what's the difference?
Hafley gets 8 games.
8?
Yeah.
You
Easy.
think so?
Easy.
That's a lot of games.
That is a lot.
Do you,
I mean,
realistically, do
not
you
gonna-
think Packers fans will give him 8?
God, I
We're
mean, I
not
think
gonna
they're
get-
smarter than that to at least give him 8.
You're not going to throw him under the bus after one
We're antsy.
entirely, but
I'll give you this: if it looks the same, but if you again, I think this defense is going to end up in a similar place as they were last year. Statistically, they're just going to get there in a more exciting way. There's going to be more. There's going to be more
top
big
10
plays.
defense calling it now.
Great.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to just say and pretend it's a real thing?
I'm not saying. I'm predicting. I'm asking.
You said you're calling it.
Yeah.
You're hoping for that.
Well, of course I'm hoping.
so that's
I'm
what it is.
hoping for top 10, but that's my
Top 10 defense. What? Scoring, takeaways,
just overall
DVOA.
They're just gonna have overall ranked.
Vibes.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to pick one.
Felt like Green Bay
Pick
to me.
one. Which one is it?
All of
Top
the
10
above. E.
So they're going to be top 10 in DVOA, interceptions, and scoring.
When it's all averaged out, when you average
But that's not
those
how they
three,
do. But
it's
that's not
gonna
how
be top 10.
But that's not how they do it. Like,
How do they pick the top 10 defense?
Usually scoring.
Then they're going to be there.
They're going to be top 10 scoring defense, and
Yeah.
obviously, like the points allowed is not the points they
Right,
score,
yeah,
the points allowed.
I did put that part together.
Okay.
Take that for data.
So
So
you,
I- when it comes to the defense, though, like you guys are talking a lot about the new young guys, right, and their potential for this season. But also, don't you guys think that some of the biggest storylines for this defense are Eric Stokes, Jair Alexander? Like, Jair Alexander apparently has this whole brand new, fresh attitude, and he's all excited to have this new guy coming in that can change the defense. I'm excited to see if he actually looks like the player he was a couple years ago before he injured his shoulder against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because I feel like he hasn't gotten back to that point to me.
I don't think he's going to get exactly back to that player because I do think there's signs that he is a guy that doesn't want to tackle like he used to. But I think as a cover corner, he can get back to that player. So I think as a cover corner, he can get to that level. I don't think he's a guy who's going to stick his nose in there. There's been too many indications over the last year and a half that he doesn't want to do that anymore, which is fine. Most corners are not guys who stick their nose in there.
Right.
If you still get a guy who's a cover corner, Stokes, honestly, I'm just writing off as lost cause. Like, to me, I'm walking, like, as far as, like, it's Gary and Alexander as far as the rebound stories. Like, what could they look like in this defense? Van Ness as well. I just don't think Stokes is very good. I think they're going to have I think that cornerback position is going to be a problem throughout the year, the one opposite of Jair. And then, obviously, hopefully, Jair stays healthy. I think the linebackers are still not really solved, but I think the D-line, including Gary and Van Ness in there, will be really good, and I think Jair and McKinney will be outstanding in the secondary. So I still think it's going to be – I have them as a 12th or 13th defense. I think if you want to tell me they're going to be a defense that's in the top 10 in takeaways and like 12th in scoring, I'd give you that. That's how I would look at it. So we're not arguing far apart.
Right.
I just think that the way they play will allow some big plays.
Another thing that I'm going to look for more this game and as the season rolls on is, like, we've watched Quay Walker and undoubtedly physically a gifted human. Like, he's fast, he's long. I just want to see if hopefully this new defensive scheme just makes more sense to him because he seems to have all the physical attributes that you would want in a linebacker because he looks fast. He really did cover the field well last year. He sometimes has those mental mistakes that you wonder, is that like maybe because Joe Barry's scheme was a little too tough for him to understand, and maybe I'm just hoping that it clicks for him because physically he seems like he's got the tools. He just didn't always know where to be.
He didn't play a lot of football in the idea as far as a starter at Georgia.
Okay.
He only started his last year. So either he's a guy that this is the year either he's going to get it and get that football intuition. No matter what, he's still going to be a good player because he is so athletic.
Right.
But I don't know if he might be one of those guys that just doesn't have the football instincts, which isn't an intelligence thing. It's just one of those things where some guys like
have the feel for it.
Chris Borland just knew where to be all the time. And if Quay Walker has that, then he is going to be an elite guy. I mean, he would be elite.
I think so.
But usually those guys show up by now.
Yeah.
But
that's
he's still going to
my
be a good
question
player.
mark.
He's still a good player. I don't think he takes a step into elite because I just don't think that players kind of get that football second. It's either in you or it's not in you.
So you don't. I mean, I can understand that it might.
You'll get better. In
It's
the margins.
It more is or isn't. Like you got it or you don't. Maybe on defense than offense because I'm sure there's. I don't know the complications with defense. Like, is there a chance that this halfway defense just clicks for him? Or is it you don't have it?
Again, he's still a good player.
No,
it's never an absolute. It's just more. It doesn't matter. The guys who are elite with football instincts can play in any defense. They can go either way. It's just they know where to be. They know the fits on the field. They know the angles. They know. You hear Chris Orr when he was on this air talking about the knuckles and hearing the pads and that sort of stuff. But Chris Orr started like every year at Wisconsin. And so on top of having those, but he started every year because he was so instinctual from just almost like from birth. Some of those guys who just football
is there any
savants.
Like stud players that lost their DC and didn't look the same because they're in a different scheme? That more
could go
my
both
question.
ways. Like you could say, I mean,
right,
possibly,
exactly.
yeah,
That's
Gary
what I'm
could
hoping.
be worse.
Is that
Van
like
Ness
now
could
the
be worse.
halfway comes in, he's gonna understand it. Like I'm hoping that it's the other way for that, but I don't think I understand the X's and the O's of the defense.
I don't think it's X's and O's. I think it's just the instinctual where the geometry on the field. Regardless, he's a good NFL player. But the tantalizing aspect for him, just like with Gary is borderline elite. He hasn't. I mean, I can't call him elite. And he's got to get double-digit sacks. I understand pressures matter, but like the elite
pressure.
The
He's
elite
got
guys,
elite potential, but hasn't realized
the
it
elite
yet.
guys get home.
Yes.
And Walker's further away, but physically he has the ability to be elite.
Right. So, like, the reason I brought up Walker is you had mentioned the corners and the safeties. We had talked about Ness, and I just feel like that's the guy, that's like the piece that could really make the defense seem to be super top 10 caliber defense because our linebackers, man, I just feel like we haven't had a solid linebacking core for a while. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's like I liked it when our leader of the defense was the linebacker. Like when it was A.J. Hawk back in the day. Like he seemed like even though he wasn't the most physically gifted guy like Walker is, he seemed like he knew where he needed to be. And like other guys like that, I'm just wondering which Packer is going to step up and be that defensive leader or quarterback, if you will, in that like linebacking core.
I don't know if the Packers are going to win or not tonight, but you can be a winner by going to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. Over $1,200 in jackpots last weekend alone at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Over 500 winners. So go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison and be a winner. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Off-Broadway Draft House is the place to be for all the best games this fall. Their Scratch Kitchen features locally sourced food, award-winning staff, delightful drinks, and a great atmosphere. Enjoy one of their daily features while sipping on a wide selection of wines, craft beers, and handcrafted cocktails. And don't forget to check out their happy hour and game day specials. Stop in to the Off-Broadway Draft House and taste how quality beverages and mouth-watering food sets them apart. Off-Broadway Draft House. Come for the beer, stay for the food.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badger volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. My name's Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Wisconsin Badgers Volleyball on 100.5 ESPN. The Badgers' tough non-conference schedule continues this weekend, starting today as they take on TCU, and then Baylor tomorrow out at the Big Ten, Big 12 Challenge in Waco. Coverage begins tonight at 3:30 and Saturday at 6:30 right here on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand. And because of that pregame show for UW Badgers volleyball, you will not be hearing Green Bay game day leading up to the start of the season for the Green Bay Packers. Yes, they'll be taking on the Eagles out in Sao Paulo, Brazil for their season opener, exclusively airing on Peacock, but you can tune into the pregame show over at ESPN Milwaukee or on ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel as they break down everything ahead of the Packers season opener with Alex Strofe and an assorted cast of GKB hosts. Game starts at 7:15 p.m. and pregame coverage at 4 p.m. for that one. Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Brewers, they're back at it tonight as well after they dropped 2 out of 3 against the division rival, the Cardinals, this week. They take on the Rockies from AmFam Field in a 3-game set. Frankie Montas set to start tonight at 5:10 p.m.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
I'm just here to tell you, Packers back. This year, it's back to the Aaron Rodgers level expectations. This has got a championship mindset.
The Green Bay Packers have had an easier time replacing Aaron Rodgers than they have replacing Mason Crosby.
The Packers are playing in the Super Bowl if Jordan Love wins the MVP.
I'm in a great organization who's had tons of great years of quarterback play. I'm definitely blessed to be one of those guys the next in line.
Nothing better than the grass on the other side of the fence. You know, it's always greener. The Packers, like me, believe in the next best thing.
Not just the youngest roster in football last year, but the youngest group of wide receivers and tight ends we have seen since at least 1990.
In the history of the NFL, there's only been 12 times that a team has had 3 900-yard pass catchers. The Packers are going to be the 13th.
I get I want to vomit every time I hear number one receiver.
This is the Brazilian Super Bowl here.
Feels like they're going to get punched in the jugular in week 1 in Brazil.
Right in the throat.
Can I say that on there? Yeah, right in the throat. Like,
yeah, do you know where the jugular is located?
Yes.
Okay.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
Great job. We're live from the
I gave him his time.
studio. Molly Brown on the show. She's in Beaver Dam. Her and Matt Hamilton twinning today. So
Yeah.
Get into the show.
Go Pack, go.
844-770-3776.
Let's go.
We are asking the question.
Oh, Molly, your curls are lovely.
So are yours. Thanks.
Stop.
Do you like my mustache?
Also lovely. You should try and give it a little twist at the end.
I need
to borrow some mustache glue or wax, whatever you guys use.
My girls used to say mushmash instead of mustache. I think that's a common one.
Mushmash?
Mushmash. Mustache can get a little bit tricky, so mushmash.
Giannis, that's got brought.
And my other favorite one from the kids was that Nola would call graham crackers crappers.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was always fun. She'd always ask for graham crappers.
Yeah, I've always had trouble with pronunciation, as Ryan loves to remind our listeners every day.
Giannis, that's got brought.
The other one, Molly, and I don't know if you've had this, but like for a little bit when Nola was younger, anything that was brown that was anywhere in the house, she'd ask if it was poop. And I was like, where do you think you live that there's poop everywhere? It's not. It's not poop.
Well, she just doesn't know you yet.
It's not. It's not poop.
No, my son Will, like, he's starting to recognize, like, poop and pee. So, like, if you go sit down, he's like, poop, poop. It's like, nope, I'm just sitting on the living room floor. We're good.
Have some respect for me. Because the other thing with kids also, I always wonder, like, do they think a functional idiot? Because they'll come home and tell me stuff they, like, learn in, like, 2nd grade or 4th, 5th grade. And be like, Dad, did you know that the 2 + 2 is 4? What? Like, you have to be like, you're so smart. And like later on, I'm like, do they think I'm a moron? Like, their dad doesn't. Like, they talk to their friends like, my dad doesn't know anything. He is dumb as a sack of rocks.
Yeah, I mean, Jim, you know that as you get older in those teen years, your parents don't know anything, and basically once you get to your 20s and into your 30s, that's when you realize they knew a lot more than you gave them credit for. They're right now. What you're doing by saying, no, what is 2 + 2? And they answer you, you are making them think you are that functional idiot.
Great.
Yeah, so you should tell them.
You know what?
Next time when they get, did you know 2 + 2 is 4? You'd be like, duh.
Take that.
You know, I will say, though, once they get, like, their phones and are on TikTok and they start teaching you things that they're like, oh, did you know this? I learned this from TikTok. And then you're like, oh, my God, I actually didn't know that. Like, they actually kind of do become smarter than you, just they're not smarter than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You think you're better
they know
than me?
pop culture better than you. That doesn't count as smarter.
Yeah. I mean, it's not always pop culture, though. There's, like, other things that you're just like, I didn't know that, actually. I'm not going to pretend like I did.
Dicey source of information there. I'll always fact check it off of
True.
TikTok. But, believe...
Jim goes on TikTok the most out of all of us.
Right,
He
I don't quote it.
I will say.
I don't quote it for my news, as Russia just got in trouble for paying a bunch of people to give out false news on social media. So, yeah. They paid influencers. I mean, lucky them. They got like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to spew out Russian propaganda. So, I mean, made some money.
Yeah,
I don't know if they have
someone
to use that for legal defense now, but yeah. So, careful. Careful out there for your news. Entertainment, have at it. News, at least check one other place.
Yeah.
Before
like
you're
X.
out there. Yeah, of course. Definitely X. Cross-check your social medias.
Yeah. Here's the thing. If they have the blue check mark, you can trust them. They can afford it.
Absolutely. 844-770-3776. What do you prefer, pregame or postgame? Right now, 62% of you are wrong and say you like pregames. And then our other poll question, which side of the ball for the Packers will we be talking about more or talking about tomorrow? And right now, 63% of you say the defense. And then the other one I want to throw out that we kind of danced around a little bit here, but we're getting to the start of the season. Which Packers free agent signing will have a bigger impact on this year? Xavier McKinney or Josh Jacobs? 844-770-3776. I want Matt to put his money where his mouth is, and he was hyping up Jacobs. I think Jacobs will be fine.
I think he's going to be better than fine, but I think Xavier McKinney is going to be a difference maker on defense.
805 yards or 3.5 yards a carry, and is that that was last year in 13 games?
Yeah, but he was a little disgruntled with the.
You think run hard then?
Well, yeah, honestly, yeah. I think
you
he
don't- you
avoided
want that
injury.
guy on your team?
No, I think a guy in a contract year who's trying to avoid injury and looking at a team who's like, yeah, we're definitely not giving you that contract.
Okay, but a career 4.2 yards per carry. Two out of the last 3 years, he did not reach 1,000 yards. I mean, he had the one outlier amazing season.
Yeah.
And then every other year has been pretty pedestrian. 1,000 yards, 7
Yeah, but
TDs.
he's on the Raiders. So, like, a lot of that is going to be game flow. You're down by 20 points. You're not running the ball with Josh Jacobs.
Right, but you still would get more than 4.2 yards per carry regardless of game flow. I'm not talking about yards. I'm talking like per carry.
Yeah, I am banking on this offense really being opening up the field for Jacobs. He has a quarterback that the defense is going to have to respect. I think he's going to smash whatever average you have right in front of you, like last year's average or a career average. He is going to be closer to his breakout year than he will to last year.
Even
as
though
far as
all of
stats.
his years are more like last year's stats than
Yes,
the breakout
but
year.
Jim,
As far as yards per
all
carry.
of those years are with a team that was pretty mid.
But now he's worn down.
But now he's with a team that has a good quarterback, great quarterback, some might say, options
So
to
you're running
throw
for
the
president
ball
right
to.
there. Some say the best quarterback.
Maybe the best quarterback to have ever done the game. I think it's kind of comparing apples to oranges because we don't know how this new offense is going to fit him. yes, he was on the decline for the Raiders, but the Raiders have kind of been on a decline for a while. He's going to be on an electric offense.
I'm just so surprised that your answer isn't Xavier McKinney when you were just saying how
that is my answer.
This defense is going to.
I said it.
What?
I said Josh Jacobs is going to be better than fine. He's going to be good, but Xavier McKinney is going to be a difference maker on this defense. Xavier McKinney was the better pickup. I just think Josh Jacobs, Jim's kind of like shorten him a little bit, and not entirely unfairly. Like he had kind of slowed down in Las Vegas, but I don't think that's the case. This offense, Matt LaFleur's scheme, they're going to do what they can to get Josh Jacobs the best situation for them, because it's not only is it going to benefit Josh Jacobs, it's going to benefit the Packers in general. So you're going to see a lot of play action opened up. It's probably going to be a wear him down a little bit. You might not catch it that first quarter, but I think in the second half is when those defenses aren't going to know whether it's going to be a pass or a run, and he's going to be running into an unloaded box, taking off.
The Raiders made the playoffs in 2021, and Josh Jacobs ran for 800 yards and 4 yards per carry. And then the next year when they didn't make the playoffs, he had a breakout year, and then last year they had a bad year, and he was bad.
Okay.
So give me the numbers.
That he's going to have this year?
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a 1,000-yard rusher.
That's not – okay, that's fine. That's not like a great bar.
That's
17 games.
Bar.
Okay. What is that on average? Like 1,000 yards?
Per game, it would be a little like 60-ish per game.
All right. You want me to go a little higher than that? I will. Here's the thing. I know how the
here's the thing.
Packers
I'm with you on 1,000 yards. I'm with you on 1,000 yards.
I just understand how the Packers are going to run this offense. It's not going to be run heavy or pass heavy. It's a lot of distribution of the ball, and Jacobs is not the centerpiece of this offense. So I don't think he's going to be some sort of world beater. But if I saw 1,100, 1,200 yards, I wouldn't be super shocked. I don't think he's going to be.
That'd be the second most in his career.
I don't think he's going to have a ton of touchdowns. I think it's probably going to be right in that 5 to 8 touchdowns. And again, I don't think it's going to be because he's not somebody has
Give
breakaway
me the yards per
speed.
carry. That's the easiest way to do this.
Yards
Give me the
per
yards
carry,
per carry.
let's say 4.9.
The highest of his career.
Yeah, I think this scheme and the way that he is going to be used is going to be a lot better than any situation he's had with the Raiders.
All right, I'm going to go 4.4, which is actually above his average, but I'll go with 4.4 yards per carry.
Molly, you want to take a
better than
stab
average
at
year
this?
for Josh Jacobs.
What was your number, Matt?
4.9.
Jeez.
Which is the career high
I would
for
say,
Jacobs.
Yeah.
I can give it to you. 4.8 as a rookie, 3.9, 4.0, 4.9, 3.5.
I'll say 4.5.
Okay.
That's optimistic to me.
I said
honestly
4.4.
think
I just think mine's pretty
it'll be
realistic.
lower.
That's still an all-time. That's still above his career average.
Right. And again, I understand the player is the player, but if you were to drop you're going to let's talk about moving players to different situations. Mm-hmm. You had a guy, this is a while back, in Randy Moss, who was an awesome wide receiver for the Vikings, right? Guy was great, caught touchdowns all the time, but he was nearing the end of his career. I believe he was in his 30s when he went to New England. And the situation, he had the best quarterback to ever play the game, and he was able to put up career numbers
You
in
said
New
Randy
England.
Moss?
Randy Moss.
Okay, so let's go look at Randy Moss. The year before he went to New England, he, let's see, the full season, 1,000 yards, 60 catches, 8 touchdowns. You're right.
Only 8.
1,000 yards and 60
I'm not saying it was a bad year for him, but look at his year in New England.
Well, right.
So I'm not saying the Packers are like that New England team. I'm saying Josh Jacobs is going from one team to another.
Josh Jacobs did not have the track record of success that Randy Moss had for his entire career. Josh Jacobs has one great year. The rest have been pedestrian.
Trust me, I'm aware of this.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're on
the
the same
reason I
page.
can't come up with some middling wide receiver who went to another team and was better is because typically the stars are remembered. So I'm just saying, when a player, regardless of talent level, goes to a better situation, there's a good chance that those better players in that better situation can elevate him.
but the NFL is full
Do
of...
we agree that Matt LaFleur was a better coach than McDaniel?
Do we agree that more often than not, free agents signed fail because people think they're going to fix their guy? Getting back to the positive side of things, like Jacobs, he can hit for sure, but he also has a lot of the resume of guys who don't work in free agency. Now, two things off of that. The Packers built this contract in a very smart way. They are covering their own ass on it because they know that this is a bit of a reach. So kudos to Goody and kudos to the Packers for building this contract where this could be a one-year mistake. Then they covered their ass again by drafting Marshawn Lloyd. Hopefully he's healthy because they said, you know what, this could be a mistake, but now we have a youngster behind him. We're basically putting all the money up front before we have to pay Jordan Love. So this is a one-year mistake, and if he is cooked, it's a one-year mistake. But again, on the other positive note, the Xavier McKinney signing is one of those signings that looks like one of those awesome, like when the Bills signed Micah Hyde from Green Bay sort of signings. Like the McKinney one is, I think, going to be viewed as a top 5, maybe even top 3 free agent signing this year.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
I would agree with that.
See, but the thing that most concerns me is, Jim, exactly what you were just saying, is who's going to be backing him up? Because he can't be out there all of the time. Like, he won't be good to be out there all the time.
Who's that?
And he wasn't brought, Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
He wasn't brought here. He wasn't brought here with the promise of him playing all the time. Like, he was brought here to be like, you're not going to be the guy that's constantly being overworked the way that you were in your previous destination, right?
Yeah, I mean, again,
That's what concerns
there's
me.
no right now. Ryan, what's the latest on the? You were telling me earlier that Lloyd and Wilson are both questionable.
They're still questionable. We won't know until 90 minutes before
So
the
if
game
they're
kicks off.
questionable and Lloyd hasn't practiced a lot, I would
Then
imagine
what?
you're not going to see a lot of Lloyd. And Wilson is not necessarily viewed as a great back, as more of like a special teams utility player for the Packers, which
He's a
is why I
good
made
third stringer.
Yes, right. But if he has to be your number 2, which I would imagine just for even Lloyd's health, you're not going to want to use him a ton because if the guy has a hamstring problem, you're not going to throw him out a ton when he's not fully recovered from that hamstring problem, nor has he had like a full couple weeks of practice. So right now they're going to need a lot out of Jacobs, and they might have to overuse him early.
Take solace in the fact that he is used to being the workhorse for a team. Before they got Devontae, he might have been the best player on the Raiders. So I'm not worried about definitely not overuse in this first game. And like Jim said, this is a one-season kind of like deal. Honestly, I'd be surprised if the Packers didn't like use the heck out of him, especially if he's being mildly productive, if he's hitting that 4.5 that Jim says.
I said 4.4.
Or either way, if he's averaging 4.4 yards a carry all season, they'll use him. They're going to use the heck out of him for that.
Yeah, so here's the thing. It is a dead cap hit, but his money is, after this season, there's a potential out with a $9 million dead cap hit. But the actual money on the salary cap next year is $11 million and then $14 and then $16. So it really builds out to be a deal that he has to be what you are saying, or he might not be on the team, because it's still better for them to have a $10 million dead cap hit than to have a $11 million hit for a guy unless he's elite. And then that hit only gets bigger. 11 to 14 to 16. That cap hit keeps on getting bigger and bigger. So this is the year, to your point, 4.4, they will run him into the ground and then cut him with no regard. That's the NFL. It's not a Packers thing.
Right.
That's just the NFL. And if I'm betting, that's what's going to happen. He's not going to be the guy. He's going to be the guy who's with the Raiders for most of his career. A good, not great running back. And you had that in Aaron Jones. Let me tell you about Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. They are Madison's custom jeweler. You can go there, get a watch. You can get yourself a piece of an engagement ring, a wedding band, a lot of great things over at Chalmers Jewelers. They're family-owned. They're locally owned. So go to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison or in Middleton. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Pizza Hut just changed the combo game with the new My Hut Box. Get your choice of a 2-topping personal pan pizza, a half-melt or a full melt, and your choice of either boneless wings or fries. It's the ultimate solo meal starting at only $6.99. Craving pizza and wings? You got it. Want melts and fries? You got it. Because this meal is all about you. Perfect for a speedy lunch, a relaxing dinner for one, or anytime you're on the go. Head to pizzahut.com to order your My Hut Box today. That's pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. GRB is hosting its annual Top Prospect Camp on Saturday, October 12th for pitchers, catchers, and position players. This annual event has attracted the top talent from across the Midwest for 13 years. This is your chance to showcase your skills in front of the top colleges in the country, and the camp is open to all players in the 2025 through 2028 grad classes. Visit grbacademy.com to register now. Raise baseball. Raise your game.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at metrofordofmadison.com. That's metrofordofmadison.com.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
The all-new season of Futurama is streaming on Hulu.
That's great, but I have to warn you, it's completely brilliant.
The interplanetary hit is back.
The very survival of Earth is at stake. Is everybody okay? Is anybody hurt? Nobody's okay. Everybody's hurt.
Watch the all-new season of Futurama.
That's the best damn show I ever saw.
New episodes Mondays, streaming only on Hulu.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tosher here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family-owned business for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off and 0% interest for 12 months on your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Our second poll question of the day. This is Phish Friday here on ESPN Madison. Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Our second poll question of the day. Which of the Packers' big free agent signings will make a bigger impact tonight? I meant for the season, but we're good with tonight, too. Right now,
I was trying to make it more of a pregame show, you know? Your favorite.
Lovely. Xavier McKinney or Josh Jacobs. Right now, 54% of you say Xavier McKinney.
Interesting. For tonight? There's no other running backs that are fully healthy on the team.
He's going to make an impact regardless, because if he gets hurt, if he's bad.
I'm going Jacobs on this one.
Evan chimes in. McKinney's going to get the game-clinching interception tonight. Not crazy. Last 4 games Jalen Hurts has played, he threw an interception. Meanwhile, last year the Packers tied the Titans as being just trash as far as picking off, making interceptions.
7 interceptions all season?
I think both tied for dead last.
Woof.
Yes.
Was it dead last?
I thought it was.
I think the I can't remember.
It was
You might be
as
right.
bad as one could hope for, I would
Let's
say.
see. The head here. Only the Oh, I'm sorry.
No matter what way we spin it, it's not going to look bad. Look good for the Packers.
I had the Titans and Packers tied. Only the Titans picked off fewer passes than the Packers at 7. So the Packers were second.
See, they beat
to
somebody.
last. I thought they were tied with the Titans.
Right.
Congratulations on that. Let's play Molly's game.
31st worst team.
Hi. I am looking for Molly. I've been searching everywhere and I can't seem to find Molly. Molly.
This is Molly's Game, hosted by America's favorite bookie, Molly Brown.
All right, guys, so I figured with the start of the NFL season, we should just do all MLB picks. I thought that might be fun.
Wait, there's baseball going on?
Brewers play tonight.
Yeah, there still
Where do they
is.
play? They only lost 2 out of 3 to St. Louis, right?
They did lose 2 out of 3 to St. Louis. Now they play the Rockies, so they got a little bit of a break before.
That's a sweep.
Then they play Phillies, Diamondbacks, Phillies.
Ooh, that'll be a good test.
Molly, what is
real
the
test.
Molly's game line on those games? Oh, we're talking baseball, right?
Yeah, we'll find out later. I don't
How
know.
about
There's
my
no
Cubs?
baseball in here,
3-person
thank God.
no-hitter? That was nice. After they lost 2 out of 3 against
Where are the
Pittsburgh.
Cubs in the standings?
Second place.
Cool. Behind by like
I
10
was
games.
actually genuinely curious. I was not asking in a sassy way. It's because
Yeah.
I don't care about baseball, especially now that the NFL is here. But first things first, Cincinnati Bengals. They are -8 over the New England Patriots. That seems like a lot to me for a team that tends to start off slow. Ryan, since you're the resident Cincinnati Bengals fan, over under. You actually think that they're going to cover this?
That's a good question.
You are the Bengals fan.
I am the most Bengals adjacent fan here, I would say.
Is Jamar Chase playing?
I don't know. That's the
think
thing.
so.
I don't know if he is.
there's
I don't
no
think
way.
they know.
I don't think he is.
And even if
No
he
way.
does, I don't think they cover. I think they have a lot of question marks, especially on defense this year. They weren't very good last year. Offensive line is still a work in progress for the last 3 years for the Bengals. I just hope Joe Burrow stays healthy, and I hope he looks like the Joe Burrow we saw before he had a wrist injury that we're still not sure how good he's going to be. So, no, I don't have much faith in the Patriots, but I have faith that Gerard Mayo can have that defense still playing well, and they'll keep it within 8.
Man.
Matt? Or Jim?
There is no way the Patriots are going to be even close to the Bengals. T. Higgins alone could carry the Bengals to this win. I just don't have faith in the new coach. They're starting Jacoby Brissett because their first-round draft pick is not panning out the way they were hoping for. I just can't see the Patriots be putting up enough of a fight. Even without Jamar Chase, they still have enough weapons to get the job done. Give me the Bengals.
I like Brissett as a starter. He's kind of a gritty, great backup, solid starter. I like Mayo as a coach. Where's this game?
I believe Cincinnati.
Yeah, 50-50 guess, Molly. It's not
Does
Brazil.
matter a little bit.
It's in Cincinnati.
Okay.
Cincinnati.
If it's
I was
in
right.
Cincinnati, I will take the Bengals to cover there. I do think that the Patriots are going to give a lot of people a fight, but I think in this first game, Cincinnati, Joe Burrow and this Bengals team, I think wants to, even if they're up, would like to pile on a little bit just to kind of show that they're back if they can. So I don't think they're going to take the foot off the gas. I think they're going to, when they're scoring points, they're going to continue to try to score. And it always seems like guys like Jacoby Brissett, even though they're good functional QBs, they'll get dinged or can't finish a game, and then they'll get sideways. So, yeah, I got the Bengals.
Matt, I hope you're right about T. Higgins because he's on one of my fantasy teams. Moving on. Tonight, Josh Jacobs' projected longest rush in tonight's game is 13.5 yards. Do you think it'll be over or under this number? Matt, you first.
Over, baby. Over.
Is that a career long for Josh Jacobs?
No. No, it's not. I can say that for certainty. I think his career long is like a 70-yarder.
I should have asked how many receiving touchdowns he'll have tonight because he hasn't ever had one, right? Isn't that a stat that you look for out there, Matt?
Actually, if he catches 4 passes without getting in the end zone, he will set the NFL record for a running back with the most catches without ever getting a
200 catches. That would put him at 200 catches.
It's like 203, I think, is the number.
Well, if you said it was 3 catches, it would put him at 200. He's 197. So
Okay,
200
yeah,
is probably the number,
then I think he needs. He is very close to setting an NFL record for never getting in the end zone off a pass. So
86 is his career long.
Yeah.
I would say 13 and a half. I think this would be bad tackling tonight. So I think he's got a chance to get one of those. Might be 15, but yeah, I'll go over.
All right, Ryan?
I'll go over as well. I got to believe he can get more than 13 yards. I mean, if that's what they paid for, that's as many millions as he's supposed to make. Can he get 1 yard per million? Yeah, he's got to get. He's got to go over.
On a single rush.
Yeah, on a single rush.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
right.
I want the over, please.
Yes, I think us three do for sure. Yesterday we talked about the comparisons that could happen between Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers. I want to know, who do you think is going to have more passing yards in week 1? Remember, Rodgers is taking on the 49ers in San Francisco on Monday Night Football. Jim?
Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers, who has more passing yards? Oh, Jordan Love. Again, this offense is just set. Yeah, this offense is set for a quarterback, especially like Jordan Love. I think maybe Aaron Rodgers throws more touchdowns. Maybe the Jets score more points, but I think the Packers will move the ball up and down the field like they have been the last 8 games they played or whatever. So I think Jordan Love's going to throw like 230. So I don't think Aaron's getting anywhere close to that. I think he's under 200.
Ooh.
All right,
Matt?
I'll go next. I'm actually going to go on the other side, not because I think Aaron Rodgers is better than Jordan Love. I think the Packers are going to be in a very balanced offense against a team they're going to be pretty close with. So I don't think we're going to be leaning too heavily run or pass. I do think the Niners are going to beat the snot out of the Jets, and I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be throwing the ball a ton, and I think that's going to contribute to having more yards.
You don't think they sit him if he's getting the snot kicked out of him?
I don't think
he's an old man.
I don't know. I doubt it. I do think that game flow is going to force Rodgers to throw the ball more, so not only will he have more attempts, he's going to end up with more yards. But the Packers are going to end with a win, and the Jets are going to have a loss.
See, I think the Packers are going to throw the hell out of the ball because they got only one running back. So I think like 40 pass attempts.
I kind of feel the same way. I think it's Jordan Love.
For the year, Matt, that's their hope, what you're describing. But for this game, they got one back, really.
Yeah, and I think the Jets, even with a leaky offensive line, I think Josh Jacobs could be a good running back. I know Breece Hall's a really good running back. I think they're going to lean into him more, try to keep Aaron Rodgers upright, whereas the Packers are going to really have to throw with Jordan Love. And hopefully it works out for him. I think it will tonight, but it's going to be, like you said.
You're going Jordan Love.
Jordan Love tonight.
Okay.
It's going to be a slobber knocker. I don't think it's going to be a great stat line for Jordan Love, but I think he ends up throwing more yards because he throws the ball more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last one here, guys. We got to get a Bears one in. Caleb Williams makes his NFL debut against Tennessee Titans. Over under 245.5 passing yards for him. Jim.
I'll go under. I mean, he does 245. He's on pace to, I can put him like MVP level for the whole year. So I know Jamal Adams is out.
It is the Titans.
I know Jamal Adams is out. The Titans have a new coach, so I don't know what the hell that team's identity is. I do think the Bears defense will create some turnovers, so I actually think that'll shorten the field for him. And I think the Bears are going to do what the Packers will want to do for Jordan Love most of the time, but the Bears have 3 healthy running backs. I think you're going to see a lot of runs to set Caleb up. So I don't think Caleb throws the ball 30 times in this game, and I think you need to throw for 30 to get 245. So I'm going to go under that number.
I think the Bears are going to show off their shiny new toy against a terrible team in the Titans. I'm going to go over.
Did the Titans just miss the playoffs last year?
No, they were one of the worst teams last year.
I thought it was like a controversy they fired Vrabel.
When they fired him because he's seen as a very good head coach, but the team's record was not good last year.
Okay.
I will say that he throws over that, I think, as well. Mm-hmm. I think it's a big debut for Caleb Williams.
That's just, for me, that seems like a million yards.
I know. As a Bears fan watching a Bears quarterback, I know 245 seems insurmountable. And no, it's not an NFL record if he breaks it, but it's still.
So Justin Fields did throw for 335 yards in a game once. I don't remember that game.
That one time.
This probably was one time. He has. Wait, that's not even correct because it says he's never thrown for 300 yards in a game. That must be total yards. All right. Molly, tell us about Pato.
Yes, if you love sports betting, you have to make your way to the Sportsbook at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. It has everything a sports fanatic could want and more. Get the ultimate experience with dozens of self-service betting kiosks, seating for over 200 people, a broadcast booth, first-class bar, their new restaurant, The Kitchen, VIP deck, and a video wall that's over 2,000 square feet. And when you're in a rush, they have free 20-minute reserved parking spaces near the Skywalk. They really have figured it out. It's a new era of sports betting at Potawatomi. Get in on the action.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
So what's better than a Packers win? Celebrating a Packers win behind the wheel of a newly redesigned 2024 Chevy Traverse C71. Yeah, that's better. And right now at Quick Trip, for every $1 you spend with Quick Rewards, you'll earn a Fan Zone point to spend in the Packers Zone. Then with your Quick Rewards app, spend points for your chance to win prizes throughout the season, like a Chevy Traverse C71. Kick off your winning season with Quick Trip and your Green Bay Packers. See QuickTrip.com/fanzone for details.
Studio wants to make a movie of our podcast.
Don't miss the new season of the Hulu original Only Murders in the Building.
We're going to Hollywood.
We have a fabulous cast.
Eugene Levy,
Eva Longoria, and Zach Galifianakis.
Oh yes, Zach Galifianakis, of course.
Starring Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez.
This is box office gold.
We'll take it from here.
You got this?
We're not children. And can you open this snack? My assistant's not here.
The Hulu original series Only Murders in the Building, Season 4. New episodes Tuesdays, streaming on Hulu.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidda. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators...
like me, Kirk Herbstreit.
The last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidda and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Based on total household installations as of December 2023.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. Our years of experience have prepared us to guide you through your life transitions. Our local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry for the benefit of our clients. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial future today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. GRB is hosting its annual Top Prospect Camp on Saturday, October 12th for pitchers, catchers, and position players. This annual event has attracted the top talent from across the Midwest for 13 years. This is your chance to showcase your skills in front of the top colleges in the country, and the camp is open to all players in the 2025 through 2028 grad classes. Visit grbacademy.com to register now. Raise baseball. Raise your game.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owns. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Matt Hamilton here to tell you about my friends at Revive Restoration. Nobody plans for accidents to happen, but when they do, you can count on Revive to be professional, efficient, and detail-oriented as they make things right again. Revive Restoration.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
When I see the connection, though I see I don't stare. Though I see, I don't stare. When I'm lost in my reflection, though I see, I don't
Jim,
stare.
Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush of Coors Light.
Daniel the Landscaper wants to make a bet here, which I will not get in on because I actually think this is a good prop bet. So I would say you're probably right, Daniel Landscaper. Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton, Molly Brown with you. He will make a game prop that the Packers, when they get in position into the red zone, they will try to set Jacobs up with a receiving TD.
That's probably, yeah.
It's like as cute as NFL coaches get is like, hey, our new guy, let's.
Well, I mean, that's what they did to Derrick Henry, right? Yesterday?
Did they throw it to him? I know they.
No, they got the ball down to the 5, and then they let their new shiny toy get the touchdown.
Right, but in this case, it's almost like even showing off the shot. Like Henry getting the ball and Jacobs getting the handoff in the red zone.
So
makes
if
a lot
you're
of sense.
Jacobs, would you rather have the record? You're 3 passes away from owning a record.
Yeah, you don't want that record, though.
You don't want that record?
I also think the Packers want to show, like, oh, he can do more than, like, you think. Like, he can catch the ball. And
Right.
Daniel, I forgot the other bet. I'm in on the bet. What are we betting is the problem. It was something about the Lions, Packers, the Lions.
Oh, you and
division.
Daniel are betting?
Yeah. No, I don't have the Bears
I
winning
don't think
division.
the Lions were involved.
I'm not betting the Bears win the division.
Wait, did you have a bet with Daniel, or are you talking about the bet with Matt about the Bears?
I'm talking about the bet that I had with Daniel. He's referenced it a few times. Daniel, the landscaper. And so I think it was a bet that I think the Lions are going to win the division, and
So
he
you
thinks the
agreed
Packers
to
are going to.
You agreed to a bet, but you don't remember it?
If that's the bet, then yes.
Then you'll take it if the Lions win the division or not?
Yes,
But if
we
that's
still
not
haven't
the bet-
but we still have never established what the payout is.
Well, you got to talk to Daniel. I'll give you his number.
All right.
You guys already have,
844-770-3776. Maybe like a Ruth's Chris meal. Go to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You get a sizzle, swizzle, and swirl happy hour. Buy him a steak. Loser buys a steak at Ruth's Chris. I can do that one. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Got a great old fashioned. Kevin, the bartender there, is outstanding. You can go there for a date night. You can go there to pay off bets. You can go there for the horseshoe happy hour, date nights. A lot of great things over to do at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. I just want to revisit the poll questions real quick here. We had a few. A couple on ESPN Madison. I think technically we had 3, but the first poll question was, what side of the ball will we be talking about tomorrow? And for the Packers right now, it's 62% say the defense. The other question we had was, which one of the big free agents will make a bigger impact tonight? Because God knows tonight's the most important thing, 55%, because I love those pregame shows. And then on that, I think actually right there is what I don't like about pregame shows is like, I don't care about tonight. I don't care about the season. But anyways, last one here. I can't stand pregame shows. What do you prefer? 65% of you say pregames. I can't fathom that. Like, postgame shows are elite.
People are exhausted by the postgame.
Yeah, but like when you're talking, like when you have fun the next day or on Monday or Tuesday and you're pulling clips, it's from the postgame shows. It's entertaining. Like, you got the callers coming in, you got passion, you got more interaction from the people listening. Pregame show is like,
I will say though,
suit and tie. And like, we're all formal and fancy, and here's paint by numbers, here's the coach, and here's the injury report, and here's a feel-good story, and here's this, and here's that.
That's that comfy sweater that you want to wear.
But
That
postgame's
is
chaos.
safe. Exactly. No one wants chaos. I had the chaos of actually watching a football game. I'm not looking for more chaos.
I want to
in
commiserate
postgame.
afterwards. All right, sorry, Molly, go ahead.
I also think that it depends how the game goes, because if the game is trash and I'm just pissed off about it,
Those are great
I don't want to
post
listen
games.
to people talk about it. I get it that those are the ones that fans interact with the most, and those are the ones that get the hosts all jazzed up and riled up. But like, to me, I'm just like, you know what? I'm exhausted from watching my team look like garbage, and I don't want to do it. I'm just going to walk away from that.
And then when they win, I just want to celebrate and not watch the TV anymore. I've just been
I'm
watching.
talking about calling in and like post-game radio is elite. But if a big win is horrible. Like, a big win post-game is boring as hell. But like a win is a really good post-game. Then obviously a close win or a close loss are great post-games. Big wins, horrible post-games. Big losses, great post-games too. So really, like pregame,
They're all good.
You could honestly have
Every single
AI
one.
do a pregame.
You're such a hater.
It's like
Judgmental Jim.
It's just like a setup there. Anyways, we got volleyball coming up. I'm excited for that. Badger volleyball at 4:00. KBN coming on. Or who's coming on at 2:00?
It's still KBN, yeah.
Okay. I don't know what happens this time of the day.
No, it's just 4 hours of Jesse Nelson previewing the game. Imagine.
I didn't know if we had extra pregame, Packer pregame, where we're doing 2 hours of that, then going to volleyball.
No, we'll start our volleyball coverage at 3.
Are we afraid of Jesse Nelson? We didn't ask the Jesse Nelson jinx question.
You asked. I was asking 3 other questions.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot going on.
But I still like people to chime in, 844-770-3776. I think Jesse Nelson is single-handedly putting the Badger volleyball team off to a bad start. So might have to
turn it around tonight, though. Changes tonight.
Speaking of turning around, I believe the Badgers have turned around their stance on the bricks a little bit.
Oh,
I'll tell you more about that on the other side. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
You're probably being overwhelmed with information about semaglutide, the game-changing FDA-approved weight loss treatment. Jim Rutledge here. I was like you. I didn't know what it was until I saw Dr. Nessa Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. He can walk you through the benefits. He can tell you if it's right for you, and then you could come up with a plan to change your life with a workout plan and semaglutide. With that plan, I dropped from 20% body fat to 10% body fat, and I dropped over 20 pounds of fat and kept my muscle. You can do the same thing. Go see Dr. Nessa Rodriguez at Carbon World Health.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Welcome to Taberna, Madison's newest neighborhood place for tacos, tequila, and margaritas. Located conveniently on Monroe Street, Taberna is your spot to stop before or after the game. Freshly made margaritas, made-to-order tacos, and happy hour every Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Plus, enjoy daily specials like $4 off margaritas on Monday and 3 tacos for $12 every Tuesday. Taberna truly is a spot for everyone. Head to Taberna Tacos and Tequila today, located at 1925 Monroe Street.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, featuring one extra special dive bar that will have $2 High Lifes on special for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin, like Connie's Home Plate, Antlers Pub, Brothers 3 Bar and Grill, and Old Duffer's Pub.
Off-Broadway Draft House is the place to be for all the best games this fall. Their Scratch Kitchen features locally sourced food, award-winning staff, delightful drinks, and a great atmosphere. Enjoy one of their daily features while sipping on a wide selection of wines, craft beers, and handcrafted cocktails. And don't forget to check out their happy hour and game day specials. Stop in to the Off-Broadway Draft House and taste how quality beverages and mouth-watering food sets them apart. Off-Broadway Draft House. Come for the beer, stay for the food.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
They dance above me as I sing. I see them through a crystal haze.
Phish Friday continues here on Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Before we get the pole dancing, Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton, Molly Brown with you. Facing backlash from Badger fans, the UW Athletic Department announced a new plan to reinstall personalized memorial bricks near Camp Randall Stadium. So they are fixing an unforced error. As Matt and I were talking in the break, I don't know why they thought people were going to be like, cool, yeah, just give me my brick back and we'll call it square. All right, let's get to pole dancing.
We asked and you answered.
What?
Coming to the stage, it's pole dancing on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Hey now.
Presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Yeah, guys, we all know Jim Rutledge hates a good pregame. Matt, go away. We all know Jim Rutledge loves a good pregame show, so I want to ask you, what's going to have you paying the most attention to the Packers in the first game against the Eagles this season? You'll be watching the defense? You're watching Jordan Love? The Packers wide receiver rotation? Or the offensive line, guys? I know we're talking about the defense tomorrow, but what are you most interested in? What are you watching? Jordan Love, these wide receivers, the offensive line, or the defense? This is from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy 3 days ago.
Defense.
Matt? Defense.
Defense.
Jim? Defense. Molly?
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love. Why?
Because we just paid him a boatload of money, and I want to see how he looks. I want to see how he looks against a team that Jim has said could win the NFC. They could be battling for later on for the playoffs.
All right. The next one I'll ask you, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy 3 days ago, they were a little confused. At 7 a.m. on Tuesday, the Packers-Eagles game was how many days away? Is it 3 days away or 4 days away? 7 a.m. on Tuesday. The game's tonight on Friday.
I would have gone 3.
3 days away? Matt, 3 or 4 days away?
It's 3.
3 days away? Molly?
Okay, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4.
4? It was Tuesday morning.
Yeah. Tuesday to Wednesday, Wednesday to Thursday. Oh, Thursday to Friday, but then it's nighttime. 4.
Ask how many,
over 3.5.
How many day to night switches? Days. Full days. All right. J&K Security Solutions, locally owned, operated business. Been in Madison for over 40 years. Family owned, locally owned. Contact them about your home security or your commercial security needs. It's been Jim, Matt, and Molly. KBN coming up next. And then Badger Volleyball at 4 o'clock. Yeah. Hopefully we break the Jesse Nelson curse.
Go Pack, go. We'll see you later.
Bear down.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for retirement income strategy.